Holy cow.
Hello, friends. It's Henry at Mowers and Blowers. Welcome to another episode. As you guys saw from my last episode, my neighbor Gerbert came over and brought me this Generac GP3250 generator.
Just let it go.
What's going on? Happy New Year. And neighbor, just do it a lot. That's all. He gave it to me because he got it for free. Free. For free. From the neighbor across the street from him, who is the neighbor behind me. The old lady Ruthie, who you guys may remember in previous episodes, who has dementia. She passed away last year. So while she was cleaning out the house, she gave it to Gerbert. Gerbert left it in his yard for years. And because I fixed his Toro Power Clear and his Craftsman dual-stage snowblower recently, he gave it to me as payment. So while I don't really work on generators much, it's free and it's content. I usually leave generators to my friend James Condone. You guys know who I'm talking about. He's the king of generators on YouTube. He can fix any generator. Anyway, shout out to James. And a quick shout out to all the guys who've been buying my stickers lately and my Mowers and Blowers hats. Link is in the description. Hope you guys all pick one up. After preliminarily going through this visually, I noticed that the fuel line is super hard and rigid.
That's what she said.
Fuel shutoff doesn't seem to be working at all. I have a feeling the Petcock is blocked. Gerbert did change the carburetor. We're missing the air filter and its cover. I went to get it last night as I was walking Boba. I asked Gerbert after he changed the carburetor if he tried to start it up. He said no. So I'm thinking to myself, well, why not? Well, I also discovered that the pull rope is gone. There's no pull rope. Recoil starter needs to be fixed. As you can see, there's the filter and the cover, and this is the filter for the gas cap thing, and there's the pull rope. Looking at the generator, looks like it's in pretty good condition, to be honest with you. As you can see here, here's the fuel shut off. It's off right now. Let's turn it on. Nothing. There is fuel in here, but you don't see any fuel going into this seemingly new fuel pump type delivery filter, which I guess it'll work, whatever. And as you can tell by me moving this, these fuel lines are super hard and rigid. No flex whatsoever. So I have a feeling the Petcock here is being blocked by some debris because no fuel is coming out at all. As you can see here, pull rope is supposed to be in this hole. So we have to take this cover off, fix the recoil starter, put a new rope and handle on here. Change fuel lines. This is an air vent. As you can see, he did change the carburetor. I'm unsure if it's the exact right one. Everything else looks pretty good. Here's the other side. Panel. Fuel gauge, which I can't make heads or tails of. Handle to lift it. I mean, you know, I know this thing was hardly used, okay? So I'd say the first thing we have to do is fix the recoil starter. Because if you don't know if it pulls freely and pulls over, there's no point on addressing the Petcock or the fuel lines. If the engine's locked up, you're not going anywhere. So we'll remove these, what appears to be 8mm bolts or 5/16. Remove this cover and see how easy or hard it is to recoil that recoil starter. So as you saw from time lapse, I removed the recoil starter itself. The rope was broken here. So this was the extent of the rope. Not too long because, you know, you're going like that. So one pull length, arm's length. And this is one of those cotton ones, not nylon. So it's, you know, it's going to break at that area. And because the break is not exactly at the end, you're losing a lot of length. So you couldn't use this rope again, because if you tied a knot in it, it wouldn't get through the hole, you know, the pull hole. So you had to throw that away. I had found a lawnmower pull rope, nylon, strong, basically wound the reel counterclockwise all the way until you couldn't turn it anymore. And you match up where the knot hole is to the area where the rope comes out of. You match it up there. So you put a screwdriver there to hold the tension so it doesn't unwind on you. Match up this hole with that hole, stick it through, put a knot there, let it wind back, and there you go. As you can see, this is a different style recoil starter that I'm used to, not like a lawnmower one. As you can see, the cup here is over here, and it meshes with this design like a puzzle. And then when you pull it, the mechanism inside pushes out these metal pawls, P-A-W-S, and that's what grips the holes in the cup to turn the flywheel. I also oiled the coil on the inside because after a while sitting, the coil may rust. And so you put some oil in there and now it's nice and smooth. Good action. So that was easy. I mean, it's like 5-8 minutes. We just put this back on again. Give her a couple pulls and see what happens. We're obviously not getting any fuel, so it's not going to start, but we'll shoot some stuff in it. And this one has this holder of the vent hose. It's not important, but you have it, might as well put it in. You have to know your impact, know what it's capable of. There you go. Oh, the pulling now. The pulling. Yeah, this is kind of a dumb design. This thing is like exactly in the way. You know what I mean? This post. Whatever. Let's see if it pulls freely. It does. Seems like it's good compression too. Oh, this is bad for my shoulders. All right, let's shoot some jism in there. Let's choke it. We're not getting gas, so let's see if it turns over or goes vroom. About that. Sounds really good, huh? Now we just got to figure out why it doesn't get any gas. Actually, it ran for a good while, huh? With no gas. So, means that this thing is pretty efficient. Since just a spray or two will have it running for like those 2 seconds. So here we go. We're going to remove the fuel line from the Petcock. As you can tell, very stiff. We're just going to remove this whole damn thing. It's junk. You can see here, it's on. Off, on, off, on. Nothing's coming out. So this Petcock is blocked. It's not working. There is gas in here. I checked. So I'm going to take this off, Petcock. Maybe we clean it, or I don't know if I have any. What the hell? Why is there no fuel coming out? What the hell? There's no fuel going out. So I just checked. The reason why it's not coming out is because there's no gas in it. Just checking this out, blowing through it. It is clear. Close it. Well, it looks like it leaks. So it's not a good fuel shutoff, see? Leaks. The washer inside is busted. Yep, see? So the fuel shutoff is useless. I have to find another Petcock. So don't you just hate it when you know you have like a dozen brand new Petcocks and you can't find it? I just spent half an hour looking through all this shit, looking for it. It's so annoying. So I did find a new fuel line, same diameter as that, and a regular fuel shutoff. I'm going to put the old Petcock back in and put this in between the fuel line. So that'll be the fuel shutoff. So annoying. So I've been at this for quite a while, and my issue now is that the Petcock on the very bottom, there's actually a screw-in bowl, and somebody's been messing with it, so it's all stripped up. The O-ring I pulled out of there was all trashed. I put a new O-ring in there, it still leaks. So I flipped my garage inside out, and I finally found my Petcock. However, this is not the threaded kind. You're supposed to just shove it in the hole and put a rubber grommet on it, and that's what seals it. This is the kind with the threaded hole that goes in, right? And you have to put, I mean, even if this would go in the hole, which it doesn't, it's too wide, you would have to get your hand in the gas tank to put the grommet over it, which it's impossible to do with this flat pancake type gas tank. So it needs the threaded Petcock, unfortunately. So it leaks. I think it's getting gas. I don't have a Petcock like that. I thought about cutting the Petcock in half and just putting a fuel line right to the stud, you know, the threaded stud. But, I mean, I could try that. But anyway, I'm going to try to start it and see if it runs. It's going to leak, but it's not a bad leak. Any leak is bad, but it's not bad. So I'm just going to try it. know, for a generator, it's pretty quiet.
Runs pretty good. You know, I never checked the oil. And it only runs good if you have it on one click before run, you know?
don't know why. New carb, right?
Anyway, I gotta figure out a way to stop it from leaking.
Gotta see if it works. I'm gonna mess with the springs a little bit, see if we can get the surging gone. But first I'm gonna drop the bowl to see why. It's a brand new carb, it shouldn't be surging, you know what I mean? I tightened the spring, dropped the bowl. Bowl was brand new. Took out the pilot jet, it was clear. Adjusted the screw for the governor tension. Now it's on full run. Still leaks. Try to take the stopper, put it underneath, put a zip tie around it. If this doesn't work, I'm just gonna go buy a new Petcock. And it doesn't look like it's gonna work. It's too slippery. After much engineering, grinded the stud off of this one. Got it going straight from the gas tank into a hose, into a fuel filter, into the shutoff, into the carburetor. And eureka! It is not leaking. Fixed! Let it dry. Put the shutoff on, ran it dry. This thing's ready for storage. I might sell it. $200? Maybe. I'll take some pictures. Took a long time to get that Petcock working. I hacked it and it now works great. Adjusted some springs, some idle mixture screw. Cleaned the carburetor, but it was brand new, so it didn't need cleaning. Put the cover back on for the air filter as well as the air filter itself. But mainly, we fixed the recoil starter, which was really easy. This Generac generator runs great. Very quiet, too. Who knows? Maybe I'll keep it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so I can continue to make you small engine content like this one. Have a great day. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
I'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.
Mowers and Blowers.